What's up, guys, and welcome back to Faith Family Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Dominique, but you can call me Dom. We are actually riding out the tropical storm Debbie. I think it's what it's called. I think it's a tropical storm, but as you can see, it's raining really hard. I can see the garden from here. I see my garden umbrella has blown over. It's been raining like this for 2 days, and it's supposed to keep raining for like the next 4 days. I think the next dry days it's supposed to be until Sunday, which is totally insane. So obviously everything and everyone around the homestead is wet. We're not leaving. There was actually a tornado that touched down around, not too close to here, but definitely around where we drive. It's a common area, I should say. So anyway, I'm inside my classroom because I'm going to be looking inside of one of my deep freezers. Rainy days are perfect days for me to get things done that I normally, don't want to do, or I don't have the time to do because it's because it's hot, or because there's other things to do and I just don't have time. But since we're all inside the house, and we're going to be in the house for the next few days, I thought it would be the perfect time to get things like getting all of these tomatoes that I harvested over the summer into the roaster oven and start condensing them down. I stopped freezing my tomatoes and started preserving them early because there was no more freezer space. But now, and I usually wait till like January to can all my tomatoes, but like I said, I had no more freezer space, so I started early. I started with pasta sauce and barbecue sauce. And I think I did some salsa. I did 24 cans of salsa as well. But I still have probably 10 bags of frozen tomatoes in the deep freezer that I want to get out. We'll count together. This is 2 bags already. 3 bags. This one's open. And I've given away probably, I think, 2 or 3 bags. I don't really remember. 4, 5, 6, 7. This one is not full at all, so we're just gonna say that there's 6 in this deep freezer, and you can see that cleared out a really big space. But I think I also have some inside this deep freezer. So we have 7. There's 8 right here. Why is this one not coming up? Okay, I'm gonna need somebody to come get that out. So I was actually only able to find the 8 bags of tomatoes. I have my roaster oven sitting out here. I don't think all 8, well, I definitely know all 8 bags of tomatoes not gonna be able to go inside that roaster oven. So what I'm going to do is fill it up to the top, and then as it starts condensing down, add some more frozen tomatoes. I may even use my crock pot and Instapot. I don't know, we'll see how many I can fit, and it just depends on how many I can fit in here. If I can fit a good amount in here, then I will, or I could just let them like start defrosting and then drain some of the liquid and add them in here. We'll see. Let me just start by plugging in this what's it called, roaster oven, and seeing how many tomatoes I can fit in here. So far this is 6 bags, 6 gallon sized bags of tomatoes. It's overfilling. I was definitely trying to get it all worked in there. but I still have these 2 more bags. Plus, I want to put some onions in there and probably some bell peppers. I do have zucchini / squash that's grated. I don't know if I'll put any in there. Usually I do, and call this like maybe not I usually call it like a garden fresh pasta sauce when it has just like all types of leftover garden produce when I'm getting ready for the next year. But I don't know what we'll do. We'll see. Right now I'm gonna get all of the tomatoes. So this is gonna take a while. I don't know if I'll even finish it all in this one video. This video is definitely gonna be like a vlog style video. As it's raining, we can't go anywhere. I'm just gonna be showing you what we're doing today.
Hey everybody, I'm Jonathan. I'm Dom's husband, and yes, I'm black. I'm here to tell you about this wonderful bike sponsored by YESOUL that we just got last week. We put it together. Nehemiah, our little engineer, she put it together herself with a little bit of help with Daddy, but it's really simple to put together. It's really comparable to the Peloton bike, which if you don't have like $2,000-$3,000 to spend, you can definitely afford this bad boy right here. And what I like about this bike is because you don't see me too much because basically I'm working either early in the morning or later in the evening, and most of the time the job that I'm doing, I'm sitting down. I don't get time to exercise the legs or any kind of exercise. So this thing is really helpful for me to get in shape or to stay in shape, because I can do this late in the night or early in the morning when it's so quiet nobody can really hear you playing on this bike or whatnot. And it has a lot of cool features. There's a lot of different adjustable features to this bike. You can adjust the seat, so if you're like a little shorty or something like that, you can move it up a little bit or whatnot. You can also adjust how high or short that you want the seat to be. And you can also adjust your handlebar area over here to fit your liking as well. What I also like about this is that you can connect to the screen via Bluetooth. I'm thinking Bluetooth and YouTube. We're doing all kinds of things here. But you can connect to the screen with Bluetooth or with the USB cord. You can play some music from it or watch a video or download the YESOUL app, and you can, they have a few different sceneries that you can play on there. You can imagine that you're driving. One of the ones we do is riding through France and stuff like that. But it's really cool, really functional, keeps your attention so you can ride for a long time, 10, 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes. Really enjoying this bike. It's really smooth, easy to put together. The family loves it, kids love it, Dom loves it. If you're interested in one of these bikes, we have a discount code in the description. It's Faith Family. You get $100 off a brand new YESOUL bike. All right.
It's about 2 o'clock, and last night I saw this crock pot recipe that called for, I think it was called taco tomato casserole, and it used leftover rice. And since I made rice yesterday for dinner, and I had ground beef already defrosting in the fridge, I decided that I was going to make it. I do have to brown the beef. I have some canned salsa. I have beans that I can, and it's going to be really easy once I brown the beef to throw it all inside of the crock pot, top it with some cheese, and I think it said leave it in there for like 2 hours, and so dinner's going to be ready in the crock pot. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm actually holding it's going to be a little different because I'm holding my camera because my tripod is actually outside in the garden, and like I showed you at the beginning of this video, it's raining non-stop, really hard. We're actually under tornado watch, and we have been since yesterday, and for flash flood warning, so definitely not going out there. So we'll just make do and be like an old style vlog with me holding this camera. Obviously I know you can probably hear all of that noise, and it is definitely my girls are skating in the house because it's been raining for 2 days and they haven't been outside. So they're enjoying themselves skating in the house. Those like skate sneakers, that's what they're using. I'm just actually using This is tallow from when we got our half a cow. I don't even know how like long this beef is gonna last. We eat beef primarily, and I feel like we're going through it like super fast because we have lots of get-togethers, and I usually provide the meat for that, and we eat lots of like spaghetti and burgers and everything. Yes,
Daddy said that when she lunch because he's hungry.
okay. So obviously we have people hungry in the house, which this is gonna be dinner. So after I brown this beef, we'll think of some lunch. When I made lunch, my husband wasn't here, so I'm gonna also add some frozen onions from the garden that we diced and have in the freezer to this. Having these onions already diced up has been so good, because when I want onions I can just pour it right into whatever recipe I'm using. I was just in the freezer trying to get these croissants out, and I just found one more bag of tomatoes. So that was actually 9 gallon-sized bags of tomatoes. So I'm gonna let that sit with the other 2 bags. We're gonna put some salt, onion powder, garlic powder. I actually have to look up taco seasoning. I don't know what else goes on tacos. And I don't have taco seasoning, like a packet of taco seasoning. So I just looked up a recipe, and it has, besides onion powder and garlic powder, it does have paprika, cumin, and chili powder, and oregano. I already forgot what I said. I have paprika and cumin. Yeah, and then I said, black pepper, cumin, and oregano, which is behind you. I'm actually going to use some of my, what is this called, pepper powder that I freeze dried, and which pepper powder I didn't even realize is paprika. Paprika is like red peppers, someone said. So technically I'm already adding paprika, but it's green, so those are all green peppers. But I'm gonna add some red paprika. Oops, that was a lot. So I'm supposed to stir in the tomatoes. I don't have the diced tomatoes with green chili, so I'm just using salsa. And the salsa I'm using is the one that I made with cucumbers and zucchini. It was like a different style. And I'm gonna add the beans, and then it says add the rice to the bottom of the crock pot, sprinkle with garlic and salt, put the mixture on top, and then cheese. Okay. And then at the same time, I just took out the croissants that I just showed you. These are from Costco, and I guess I had some left over, and it's perfect. It's 4 in here, 3 for my, actually, yeah, because my son doesn't eat tuna, but my husband's hungry. And then once I make him a tuna sandwich, my girls are probably gonna ask for one as well. So I'm gonna defrost these really quick in the microwave. Even though my girls ate, once they see him with the sandwich, because they love bread, they'll probably ask for a sandwich as well. So I'm just going to defrost all of them. My son doesn't eat seafood. He doesn't like fish at all. This is actually, I'm using my small pan. It's already filled to the top, so I don't think I'm going to, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to change this, since it's all going to cook inside the Instant Pot anyway, or at least warm up because the beans are already cooked. I'm just going to add all of the, I'm going to add all of the stuff straight to the crock pot and put the beans on top of the mixture and mix it in there. Okay, well, Nehemiah decided she's going to help me, so Anaya is cutting the oranges to go with the lunch. I'm going to have Nehemiah add everything to the Instant Pot, and then I'm going to work on the tuna. So Nehemiah, all you need to do is put the rice in the bottom of that, then put this mixture on top, put the beans on top, mix it, and put cheese on top. And while she's doing that and Anaya's cutting oranges, I'm going to make the tuna. If you haven't tried this from Costco, this garlic dip, it's amazing. I had it over noodles the other day, and it was absolutely delicious. If you really love garlic, you'll love that. So she just mixed it all inside of the pot. I'm wondering if I want to add another can of salsa. It looks a little dry to me. And then we'll top it with some cheese. I think that's what we're going to do. I did end up adding some more salsa and then just topped it with some cilantro lime dressing, and it was really, really good. But we just, in the middle of the day, just started to play a card game. So I played a card game with the children, and then I ended up taking out Niall's hair because I had to wash it, and that's all a chore in itself. So while we were playing, I was multitasking when it was my turn and untwisting her hair so that it could be ready for me when it was time to wash later. It's a little later in the day. We finished playing our card game, and some people have already started to eat the food that we made. Let me show you how it looks. There's some missing already. So, it smells good. I haven't eaten any, but I'm sure it will taste really, really yummy with some sour cream. And I do have some salad. I'm trying to think if we have any onions or even green onions. Actually, we do have some freeze-dried green onions, so I'm sure that will taste delicious. I'm not hungry right now, so I'm not eating, but somebody ate already. I walked over here and saw that the tomatoes have definitely defrosted. You can see how much water is in there. Like, that's straight up water. I might strain some of this out. I'm thinking if I take some out with like one of these cups, it'll save it from having to reduce down so much. Like, that's so much liquid. I've drained out all of that liquid, so now I'm gonna see if I can fit the last 3 bags on top. As you can see, a lot of these tomatoes are not red. This is obviously going to be a multi-day process, so I'm not definitely not going to be able to finish that all. But we finally got all of those tomatoes out of the freezer, so we have freezer space. I was definitely thinking that we could have had the possibility of losing power today, but we actually didn't, which was nice. I'm not sure if the storm has passed us, but it hasn't rained in like an hour. So I'm actually was thinking about going to the garden because I know that there's so many peppers out there that need to be harvested. And I also have ginger in here that I bought a while ago, and I want to go ahead and throw inside of the hoop house. The hoop house doesn't have anything growing in it right now. All of the tomatoes are bare. It actually looks like when a hornworm comes through and like eats all of the leaves and then just leave the stem. And that kind of like happened over like the course of like, I think it was like 2 days when I didn't go outside into the garden. And then so one day I went out there, harvested tomatoes, and then like 2 days I didn't, and then I was like had someone over and I was showing them the hoop house and all the tomatoes were gone. So I don't know if it was a tomato hornworm or if it just got really hot or whatever the case may be. I don't really know, but there's not any more tomatoes growing inside of the hoop house. So I want to go ahead and plant that ginger, as well as, because I'm late to plant it outside. We only have about 90 something days before our last frost. And if I'm gonna have a fall garden, I want to plant that inside the hoop house as well. I'm definitely not planning on having a fall garden outside in the big part of the garden because I'm doing a whole revamp outside. Since it isn't raining, I figured I would just go out here and show you guys what I'm talking about. If you follow me on Instagram, I showed a few weeks ago we had a mama chicken hatch some baby chicks, and we have not like put them with our other chickens, and so they've been free ranging and just going wherever they want to. Oh wow, you can see the storm knocked over this, but yeah, there's so much flooding in here, you can see, but this is what I'm talking about. All the tomatoes in here are bare. I still have the drip in here, but you can see so I haven't like cleaned up in here or anything like that. So I haven't cleaned up in here or anything, but this is what's going on, which is not much. It's so crazy that the garden still looks pretty like full when you look up from here, but really when you get in closer, all of those beds are pretty much dying, and there are a lot of weeds growing. But the next thing I want to do is work on getting this trellis done. Ooh. Okay. I came out here with flip-flops, so my feet are wet. I think I'm gonna save the picking for possibly another day. Well, I'm gonna end this vlog here, and I'll pick up with you guys back maybe tomorrow, now that we are back in the groove. Bye guys.